welcome to episode 4 of the Hammer Time podcast, the official podcast of the Wragby Warhammers.
Indeed.
As you can see today, this is not Jack. Jack is
No.
not here. So, I invited back Sean Schwartz, the superstar,
Glad to be back.
to come and help me along after our first home game weekend against the Leicester Blue Soxs, which didn't quite go to what we're used to at home.
No, very different.
Very different. It was a good experience, though.
Yeah, a lot to take away from it again, as usual. In this,
I really
season.
enjoyed it. Considering the scores, I really enjoyed the weekend. I enjoyed seeing the standard of what we aim to be.
Your first game back. So
it was my first game back. Of course, I was going to enjoy it. Yeah,
but no, it was good. There's positives to take away from it.
So the first game. So the scores of the game. So game 1, 14 runs to nothing. Now that sounds a bit of a hammering.
We can skip over that one.
Anyway, we can skip past that one. But, to be fair, we started off well. First inning, there was no run scored.
Yeah.
But it's a tale. It's the same old tale. Clumsy mistakes forced the runs in eventually.
100%. There was things we could have done better in the field, but also it was extremely difficult to score runs on Sunday in that game 1.
It was very hard. I mean, we had runners on third base.
Yeah,
we had plenty of runners on
a few
third
times.
Base. Yeah, we had some good
just
steals.
Couldn't get them home.
Nah, I mean, clumsy mistakes in the outfield. We made some nice catches. It was just that link play again. The link play was sloppy, and it's letting them get that extra run round the whole time. A few mistakes on the infield, but they're nothing that's not fixable.
No. We like I said, there's things we can take away from it, and just clean up some fielding and working on our batting. But again, that being said, we were faced with a pitcher.
We was faced by a fantastic pitcher. We're gonna talk about the pitch for the Blue Sox in a minute, but like you said, batting was an issue. But one of the positives, we keep saying a positive each week and everything, but we actually stole base this weekend.
Yeah.
We was a lot more confident going from 1 to 2. We had some steals from 2 to 3. Eventually, when that confidence starts building up, that we can go from 1 to 2.
Things can flow.
Things are going to happen.
Yeah. And I think, again, once we get used to this level of baseball, our confidence will also kind of pick up a bit. We will know what to do, what not to do, when to do things.
Yeah.
Is a little bit different from last season, but we will get there. And we've hit that 3-game mark now, which I think is kind of a nice place.
Could see, yeah.
And like you said, things have already gotten better with the stealing and things like that. The batting, again, we're just not used to this level of pitching. And and especially against Sunday, faced, like we just said, a phenomenal pitcher, young lad. And he was just brilliant and just something we're not used to.
Wow.
So once we're used to that, we can work a little bit more on the bat and things will flow around the diamond a little easier.
One thing we spoke of, so we've trained since then, and we spoke about different aspects of the game that we need to look at.
Yeah.
And we just discussed it on Tuesday that there are certain things. We need to remember the fly ball rule, tagging up, watching the foul line. These are little things that we didn't really have to remember so much last year because we could get away with it. And where we need to be during the field when you're not on the ball. These were... And you can see this when you're watching the opposition field at this level. You can see their movement, what they're looking for.
100% game knowledge and game sense, I suppose, if you will. Things like that. We need to brush up on a little bit. Things do start happening. That we're not used to as well. But again, they won't happen too often, but we got caught out twice.
There was one of them. I felt sorry for Devon really, because one of his hits rolled out foul
and then
rolled back in. And when he hit it generally looked like it was going to keep going. So he stood there, and then
I know for one, I was like shouting at the umpire saying, "What are you doing? It was foul!" And everyone was like, "No, roll back in."
I think everybody shouted at the umpire at the weekend.
I don't understand. I just you like what you said. It just looked like it was going to stay out, and somehow a snail pushed it.
And again, there was another out. We got 2 outs on one play with yourself and Meg.
Yeah, that was also
a difficult one. A dropped third strike.
Yeah, game knowledge that just forget. Obviously, I ran on a drop.
But again, that's human. That once that ball hits the ground, and you think, "Oh, I've got to go."
Yeah, it's kind of just black out for a second.
But again, you look at the standard of the game. Bravo by them. All they did was have to throw it to one.
Yeah,
because Meg had to come back, and there was little things like that. Now, obviously, the drop ball on the third strike.
Yeah, you don't think about
it.
You just run. You just run. That's what I did. I just ran. I just ran, and that was obviously not the right thing to do at that point because that.
And poor Meg just stood there going, "I don't know why I'm out."
Yeah. She was just like, "Oh my word, he's running, so I must run." And so I obviously.
What is it with American sports and making everything so complicated?
They just love
so many rules.
Yeah,
there's so many rules.
Great.
So we briefly spoke about the picture for the Leicester Blue Soxs. Now, this podcast is purely, we want to promote British baseball. We like to promote the Wragby Warhammers in Lincolnshire and just try and grow the sport. And one positive sign from the weekend, as great British baseball in general, young lad pitching, game 1, 15 years of age, Jacob Henry. If you watch this, we are just, taking a bow. He was sensational.
Yeah.
I mean, as a pitcher, you.
No, I know, and there's just. I'm old now. There's no way of teaching me that, and that's the thing is, it's one of those you either have it or you don't, kind of. And he just has it, man. He just has it. He's not. I want to say no disrespect, obviously. He's not even a big guy. He's a little bit lanky. He's only 15.
Yeah.
And my word, his technique, the elbow snap.
Yeah, I mean, it hurt my arm watching it. When he was throwing, I could feel my shoulder hurt.
So my word, that's what I say. You either have it or you don't.
I mean, he pitched. He pitched with him being under a certain age. You can only pitch 95 pitches, and man, did he make them count. So he pitched. 100%. I've got a bit of paper down here, so my eyes are changing. He pitched 89 balls, 48 strikes, an ERA of 6.18, 9 strikeouts.
Yeah.
In 89 pitches.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great day out.
Yeah.
And the young lad catching behind, I didn't catch his name, so I apologise. He was great as well.
Yeah, it was good.
Framing. So those two were
on it.
Were brilliant. But
that was nice.
If another team from AAA is watching this, just credit this kid. He was fantastic.
Yeah, look, the best I've faced for sure.
Oh, the best I've faced.
It was quick. It was quicker than we're used to. That's the
when
thing.
We was all stood waiting to go on, and he first pitched in the first inning. We was like, "Ooh,
and I had to face him first, so that was nice." So the thing is, again, it wasn't crazy variations and things like that. I kept mistiming his pace because I think I hit it every time. Just pop up.
That is something we spoke about, isn't it? You can't simulate that speed at training.
No,
that is something you just can't simulate unless you've got the
electric machine.
The electric machine and that.
But no, it was good facing it because again, just brings you up to this level. It's like, okay, this is where we're at,
Yeah. And I mean, some of us hit him. You hit him, I hit him.
That's why we said we were on base and things like that. But just not everyone again kind of matching that level, which I don't expect us to anyway. But unfortunately, we couldn't get home.
I mean, when you stood there waiting to go on, you got Chase, who is I consider Chase a decent baseball player. Yeah. He stood there going, "This guy's good."
Right. Yeah.
And then you know.
Yeah.
And then you know. Sure. And then game 2, he went to game 1, and he made some fantastic catches at first base.
Yeah.
Sorry, at game 2 he went to first base, and he made some fantastic catches there.
He's a good all-rounder.
He was a good player.
His batting could have also used a bit of attention, I suppose. But if he's prime focus, which it should be, is pitching. Yeah. My word, he's got a good future in the sport.
So if you are watching, thank you very much for just showing us what you're all about
what it is.
Thank you for putting us in our place. And
teaching us a lesson.
There's nothing worse when there's someone double your age. When you're double their age comes on and shows you how to.
Yeah. I felt like I needed to call him sir.
When he come round, he started speaking to me. I was like, well done.
That was good.
So that was fantastic. So game 1 was a bit of a blowout. Game 2, on the other hand, we got ourselves back into that game 2. The game finished 6-5 to Leicester. Final inning, we just couldn't finish. We just couldn't close the game off.
I think we got complacent because we started off strong. Got 4 runs, I think, in the second innings, was it?
Yeah.
So started off strong. It was 4-1 for the majority of the game.
Yeah.
Second to last inning, they score 5 runs.
Yeah.
We score 1, and just not enough to tie it up. But there was probably 2-3 innings in between where it was just 0-0, 0-0.
I would say innings 2, 3, and 4. We was we was fairly dominant. I think we was fairly dominant in the game. Some people made some great outs. Yourself, you made a good out. Jacob, he made a great
Fielding
catch.
Was great. Fielding was great on the day.
Jack made a good catch. I made a couple of catches centre field. Everybody's going well. The pitching was going well. And I think, like you say, towards the end, we just got a bit complacent with it. So. We let them claw the way back. And you know what baseball's like. If you can grab that momentum, if you're in that batting order and 1 hits, 2 hits, 3, and all of a sudden momentum is starting to go.
Yeah, I think we slowed down a bit, maybe feeling that we kind of had it.
Yeah,
like we said, we were 4-1 and 2 innings left. Maybe we just felt, this one we've got. And we just didn't. And unfortunately, we could only take the 1 run back, which wasn't enough.
Yeah, the 6th inning, when it went all, they took the lead in the 6th inning. What was you thinking then? What was you thinking when we had to...
It was a little bit frustrating because knowing that, like you said, we were dominating the game pretty much. Fielding was great. Again, batting was good for 1 or 2 innings, and then it just got quiet. And when they did take the lead, I thought, we're in trouble here because we didn't have the batting momentum.
No, that's right.
So I was just thinking we would need to pick this back up. Yeah. And unfortunately, we just couldn't.
I think the order started, I think, in the last inning was 9-1-2. Did you strike out last inning?
I don't know if I struck out, but I think it was a pop out or something like that.
Yeah, then I came on, got hit by pitch, managed to steal around to 3rd. Chase got to 2.
I think, did you come home on that one?
I came home on that one.
So you were the one run that we got in that last inning, and then just couldn't get around, unfortunately. Chase couldn't get home.
But again, what we spoke about at the beginning, there was just some parts of that game that maybe game knowledge let us down. There was, and I'm not picking on anyone. I'm not here to do that. But Andy, when he went to 3rd, there was a key area. He misfielded it.
Yeah, again,
and he ran after it, and then he didn't go to 3rd, which allowed the runner then to go from 2 to 3.
Yeah,
silly things like that. We wasn't keeping the runner check. Some of these are
things we could, again, like we always say, take away from it, which probably could have gotten us the win. But it's things we learn from. It's things that's going to make us better as individuals, better as a team to move forward. This season is going to be a learning curve for all of us. And I think a lot of us know that, which is cool. We just need to use it as what it is. Learn from it, get better, and next season, run with it and go actually have a chance at things. But not saying that we're not going to try our best and,
absolutely
try and get the wins.
Try your best, yeah.
But it's going to take a bit of time.
But I just think as well, we will get a win. We will get this AAA win. And you think where the team was 4 years ago to what it is winning a AAA game.
It's insane, actually.
It's insane. And that will just build on and go from there. And it was difficult to have that at the end. Harry wasn't very happy at the end. Fusels was generally upset because we thought we was going to get that first AAA win.
Yeah. But I think we are still happy with the way we played.
Oh, massive. I came out, and I'll be the first one to admit, sometimes, I don't like losing.
No, I don't think anyone likes losing. No, but the fact that we got so close, 6-5, and again, a little bit of dominance in the game, it just shows that we are still contenders. We're not bottom.
We're not miles away.
No. And we will get there. It was just nice seeing that in this game, we can do it. It was there. It was there for the taking. A few little mistakes and then a bit of complacency, slowed us down. But yeah, you're right. We will get a win.
We will get there. Positives from game 2. I was so happy for Jacob to get that catch at right field.
Yeah, it was nice.
I'm pleased he's finally got that bit of, and he batted well. Game 2, he batted really well. Devon did well on 1. He caught his balls and he did well on the plate. Andy did well fielding wise. A lot of balls went second base, right field at the weekend.
Yeah, because even Meg was busy.
Yeah, Meg was busy game 1. She fielded well. Brilliant all-rounder. Now, we always, every week, we ask the opposition to give us a player of the day. First week was Meg. Second week was Young.
Yep.
This week was Deck Armstrong. So congratulations, Declan.
Well
done.
Well deserved.
He played really well.
Yeah.
Game 1 made some outstanding catches in the outfield. Game 2, though, he pitched like a monster.
100%. And again, against this level, it was nice that he could hold his own And I know Deck sometimes has reservations about his own.
You need to, mate. No need to. You did so well at the weekend.
You deserve it, and you also just proved to yourself and to all of us that you can do it. So even when he's saying things in his head like, "Oh, I can't do it," no, you can. Clearly, very clearly, you held it out there, and it was good. So
strong on batting game too. Pitching, some of the stats he pitched 79 balls, 44 strikes. I mean, that's over 50%. That's fantastic. ERA is 7.56. Earned runs allowed, if people ask me what an ERA is. And he got 4 strikeouts. Now, at this standard, 4 strikeouts in 80 pitches, or 79 pitches.
I'll take that any day,
Yeah, I'll take that any day. I mean, I can't comment because I can't pitch to save my life.
But no, that's good. He should be very happy with that performance.
Very happy. And
us as a team are happy with it. So
hugely.
He has to be.
I mean, like I said, we all have respect for Deck. He's a fantastic player.
Yeah.
Wherever you put him, he does a phenomenal job. So well done, Deck, on a fantastic weekend. And just to shout on game 2 before we move on from here, Rickson Martina, he pitched really well.
Oh, very nicely. Very nicely done.
Very weird. Like this isn't a criticism, but the way he pitched it swung outside a lot. Outside, it just kept swinging to my right hand side.
Difficult to read. Honestly, very difficult. There was also points where he was pitching. I think I went out at bat once, twice, and just fairly similar ones. I came back a third time, and all of a sudden it seemed like a new pitcher was up there.
Yeah,
I haven't turned to the umpire and said, "Since when is he throwing these?" And he was like, "Yep, it's like a new pitcher out there." And I was just like, this guy has got some...
And his fastballs, he sounded like he was throwing them like just pure anger.
But no, it was something also to get used to. Very tricky break on it. And just also mistimed the hell out of it. That was why that caught me on the run, the drop third strike.
Yeah, it was,
That's what caught me, is because it just had this incredibly weird break on it. And I was just like, what is this? And just caught
Brilliant.
it.
They were the 2 games at the weekend. Now, 3 games or 3 weekends of matches into the season. Like Sean mentioned earlier, we're now getting to that point where we're getting into our stride a little bit. Key things, the eye-opening things that you've noticed in the 2 games, let's say the 2 games, the 2 AAA games, the 2 AAA teams that you've noticed so far.
So, immediate takeaways. The batting. The batting.
Yeah.
The batting is you see it immediately.
Yeah.
Not only because when I pitch, do they hit my balls? Kind of like, okay, this is, but even with our star pitcher, Harry.
Yeah.
He's a great pitcher, man. And they are just used to that level.
Yeah.
Whereas in our AA days, there's still players that don't know that pace, that don't know that, and these guys just do. So they're like, I mean, he still gets his strikeouts. No disrespect to Harry or anything like that. And I'm not saying he doesn't belong in AAA. I'm just saying those batters now are used to those type of balls where we aren't, for instance. So they'll be putting up, which they have, these 14, 15, 16 runs, things like that.
Because I agree with that. Because I was watching fielding. There's not that much. I wouldn't say there's that much in it.
Again, it's individual, isn't it, really? If a ball comes to you, you catch it. Obviously, we make mistakes, but again, we practice these things. It's a grounder from a AAA team or a grounder from a single A team. It's still a ball coming at you. You need to deal with it. So those things we can learn from.
I totally agree. I mean, the batting at the weekend, they can almost put it where they want to.
It seemed like it. Every time we say this quite often, actually, is that they do just...
Because
they might as well just pick it up and throw it because that's... Like, I want it there, so they'll put it there. And it's just like...
I mean, I was saying to you, I played shortstop game 1. And I played a lot at shortstop. And I think Sunday was probably one of the only games I did nothing.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything about it. The balls they would hit to my right hand side, there'd be a good 6 foot to my right hand side, so I couldn't dive for it. Same there.
They place it so well.
I had one fuck up. I can't even defend that really. It was just a real shit throw to ball.
All of us make mistakes. It's part of the game.
But like I said, I've never had such a quiet game at shortstop. I don't think. I think I made one catch.
It's interesting, isn't it?
All
just
game.
How it works, because you think, it's going to be busy on the infield, but they just know the gaps between second and third, or second and shortstop and third, things like that. They just know it.
I feel like as well when they're pushing it right field, second base, we all know if we can get a decent hit that way, there's a good chance of a double.
At least a single. Or
Do you know what I mean?
double,
if you can get it just right, you can get a double. And it's like that's what they try, and we work on batting a lot, and we always say to ourselves, just let that ball travel a little bit more, but
patience.
But then you always think, well, I'm leaving it too long, and then you miss it. And
well, especially against the pitcher at the weekend, he was too quick for us to be that patient. And you think you're going to leave it that little bit, and by the time you've even realised it's in the catcher's
But in our minds, we automatically swung because everything we hit, I think I hit the ball 3 times, but they all went shortstop.
Yeah.
That I got on base twice, but it still went that way. So we're still swinging
a little
early. But is that the fear of the pace?
I mean, I suppose you read it and you watch it and you hit it when you think you need to. But it's still, again, once you've seen 1 or 2 of the balls, which we try and do, you have to try. Be a little patient.
Try a little patience.
It's difficult. It's very, very difficult. I think I hit one out to right field. I know my pop out was pretty much to right. I think first baseman caught it.
Yeah.
I had a really nice hit, but left field caught it. But I felt really good right off the bat, but just carried enough for him to catch it, which was annoying.
I'll tell you what I will take from them. I forgot to mention this. So Jack, he's not had the best batting career. We'll put it that way.
What do you mean, Jack? Oh, Jack.
He's not. But at the weekend, base-wise, he got round. He stole all the way to 3 and he got home.
A really, really nice hit.
Just
I can't remember which one it was, but my word, I remembered seeing it and I was just like, Jack actually knows how to hit this ball really well.
He went out. Yeah. He got struck out.
He got struck out a few times.
But his actual stealing round was fantastic. He got home a couple of times.
The thing is, even at practice, he's got the ability. Yeah. He definitely has the ability.
Definitely have the ability.
I think he just
Jack.
Yeah, Jack, you've got the ability, man. I think it's just that game time pressure that gets
to everyone,
which it does, and it does, and I think it just sits on his shoulders a bit, and he's just thinking like, "Holy hell, I don't know," and he's just so indecisive, about whether he should swing or not.
Go out swinging, Jack,
and just go for it. If it's in your little zone, just. And I think he wonders, is it going to be a walk? Is it going to be which again, because of the way he bats, he does have like the most walks, doesn't he?
Yeah.
In our team, because of I think you should borrow some of his patience.
I should. I went out swinging on one of them, but to be fair, I did think the umpire would call me out. I went out and the pitch threw a nice curveball and it just dipped and I knew soon as I swung I was like, damn.
Yeah, shouldn't have. But again, like we said, at least you're giving yourself that chance.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Giving yourself you're backing yourself a little bit to hit the ball. If you didn't, at least you tried. You can't hit the ball if you don't swing for it.
Yeah. So home run watch. Anyway, home run watch again. We're still waiting on Chase. I'm still waiting on Chase to hit this home run.
Yeah, it's gonna. He needs to break free.
He does. You need to hit a home run. We're all waiting on it, Chase. Yeah. No home runs again at the weekend. Again, you mentioned last week, which is you mentioned last week. It's difficult to hit a home run in our league.
Yeah,
and we can always take that as a positive that there was no home runs 100%. Hit.
There's actually not too many doubles either, really.
No.
Unless it was a mistake, but no real earned doubles. There was like, again, 1 or 2. I'm not saying none.
Sloppy mistakes.
But yes, again, it just goes to Harry and Deck with the pitching. It was good. It was good. It was good enough. It was really good enough.
So we now have a 2-week gap. We've got 2 weekends off. And then we have got the Manchester A's coming to home.
Ooh.
Big scores at the weekend. I'm looking forward to that one as well. Because we've always played the Season Bs.
And even then they
were good.
They're not the worst team, so I'm expecting a lot from the A's. Also, like you said, by their previous scores, you can kind of see what they're made of, and it's going to be interesting. Again, we're at home, so we will be comfortable, but it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
It's again, if we can bring that passion we brought to game 2, because with the guys on the sideline, they were cheering us on, smacking the bins. If we can get that build up towards it. I'm really looking forward to Manchester coming, and they've got the long journey as well.
Yeah, always keen for a good home game. So
I love a home game.
I'll back us.
Yeah. So that is it for this week. I thank you very much for listening, and keep the comments coming because we've had some really positive comments. Just let us know what you think. Again, this will be posted out on YouTube and on our social media. Thank you very much again, Shawnee, for doing this.
Anytime.
Really appreciate your knowledge, and again, thank you very much. #HammerTime.